So good evening, everybody. Today we continue with the series about Apadana. Just shortly we start with the remembering what is about the Apadana. It's a book in the Khuddaka Nikaya, in the minor discourses. From the five, you have long discourse, we have middle discourse, you have short discourse. So this is in the short discourse. There is the numerical discourse, which is sutta, which is explained about numbers. And there is the connected discourse. There are something like connecting to each other. So this Apadana book, it exists in the Khuddaka, it's meaning the small one, in the short verses. And this is actually, okay, so first, this is book about, story about the life of monks and bhikkhuni in the time of the Buddha. And also there is one part in the, you see 39.10, this is the Buddha, he stayed with the monk in the lake, Anatota Lake. It's in the north of India, Nepal area. And he announced and tell the monks 12 sentences. And in these 12 sentences, actually, he mentioned about 12 things that he have to suffer as a Buddha. Okay, he get Buddhahood at 35 years. And after this, as Buddha, he was continuing living 45 years. And during these 45 years, he was having 12 karma that he have to pay. Actually, the Buddha himself, he have to pay much more karma, but because he became enlightened, when he died, after the dying, there is no karma for him to pay anymore. So during these 45 years that he was enlightened and he was still alive before he go to final nirvana at the age of 80, he still have to pay some karma. So he's staying with the monk and he say, because I did this and this and this, I have to suffer this and this and this. And this is one finish. And then number two, because I did this and this and this, I have to, this is karma, I have to pay, and then I suffer from this and this and this. So like this, he tell 12 sentences. So the commentator come and take these sentences, 12 sentences, and he create 12 stories or commentaries about these 12 occasions. So we last weeks we are following not one after the others. I'm jumping for on difference. So today we reach to the number 9. Okay, number 9, which called headache. Okay, so Lisa, please you start to read, and then we will see what is about.
In the 9th inquiry called a headache, we hear about how the Buddha had a pain in the head or a painful feeling in the head.
Okay, so you see, this is how the Apadana is starting. Our story today, it's about that the Buddha himself, he mentioned that this is not the Apadana, this is the commentary to the Apadana. The Apadana verses from the Buddha will appear at the end. And just you see that our story, it's in the blue color, and there is a reason it's in the blue. Later on, it will change to different color. The text is in the blue. This is connected to the Apadana. We are the commentary of the Apadana. So the Apadana itself is just the last sentence, what it will be there. But we continue our story. Why the Buddha have a headache? In which occasion the Buddha have a headache?
In the past, it seems the Buddha to be was reborn as a fisherman in a fisherman's village. One day, together with many other fishermen, he went to the place where they murdered fish, and seeing fish being murdered, happiness arose in him, and happiness arose in those who were with him.
Okay, actually what the Buddha said, this is how they translate the translation of the real Apadana. Okay, this is from Pali language. We don't know who write this commentary. We don't know. Sometimes it's Buddhaghosa, sometimes it's other people. But in this case, we don't know who is the commentator. But anyway, the commentator say that the reason that he had in certain time in his life, soon we will talk about when it was that he suffered a headache. Okay, he didn't have all his life headache. In special occasion, he was having suddenly in sometimes a few days, he have a headache, okay, or maybe one day. It's not exactly mentioned, but anyway. And the reason he said that in the past, many long time ago, as a bodhisattva, okay, I was still a bodhisattva, and we go together with a group of our friends from the village. We used to make fishing, so we go to fish, and then we threw poison to the river. They threw poison to the river and they kill many fish, okay? So, but not only that they killed the fish, they was very happy about what they are doing, okay? It means that also the jetana, the intention in the mind, it was raising happy to see how the kill is dying, the fish is dying, okay? And you say, okay, please.
Through that unwholesome deed, after undergoing suffering in the four lower realms, in this his last state of existence, with those men, they were born together in the royal Sakya family. When he reached 35 years, having attained Buddhahood, on one occasion he suffered from pain in the head.
Okay, you see the translator saying that what happened is that in certain time, the Buddha, okay, after he make it, he reincarnate again and again and again, and he was reincarnating in maybe the hell, maybe in the hungry ghost, maybe in the animals, because of this kind of occasion, okay? And then he reincarnation, the last reincarnation is as a Buddha, okay, as a bodhisattva, and he did it with a group of people. That time when he killed the fish, he was not alone. There was village with many friends. They did it together. So this friend, they follow him reincarnation by reincarnation, and this last reincarnation, they reborn in the Shakya, in the family of the kingdom of the Buddha together, relative. They became relative of the Buddha, part of them, okay? Became relative of the Buddha, and that's why they have, and Buddha himself, he have to suffer sometimes from pain in the head because of this. And what happened to the people from the Shakya? Because they also have to punish somehow. Yeah.
And about the Sakyan royalty and their destiny, it is recorded in the discussion and the commentary to the Dhammapada. In the war with King Vidudaba, they all came to destruction.
You see what happened? This is actually why Shakya crown or Shakya kingdom destroy. Because of this kind of karma, the Shakya kingdom destroyed. The family of the Buddha destroyed. No more kingdom. If you ask, when did it stop? Okay, the Buddha have a relative, his father was a king. When his kingdom stopped? Because of this occasion. It was in the last, a little bit before Buddha passed away. Okay, some places it's mentioned in the war that this war was after the Buddha passed away. But according to our story, the Buddha was still alive when it was happened to him. When this happened, that his family destroyed totally. And he said that his family destroyed because of this occasion that they killed the fishes. Okay? And now, how we know more details about this war, the Buddha, it's mentioned here, the commentary to the Dhammapada, Dhammapada number 47. It will be in the Dhammapada 47. Soon we are going to read what happened, how the Buddha suffered from the headache, and also how this occasion that the family of the Buddha destroy, all the kingdom of Shakya destroy. But then the Buddha now we are going to read the sentence from the Apadana, okay? This is actually what the Buddha mentioned to the monk. Therefore, the Buddha said,
before I was in a fisherman's village, he killed, it produced a little happiness. Through that deed and through its result, I had a great pain in my head, and all the Sakyans were killed when they were murdered by Vidudaba.
Actually, this is what is in the Apadana. This is the sentence, the Apadana. All what we was reading before in the blue color, it was the commentary itself. So it explains us in the occasion, special occasion, the Buddha have headache. Soon we will see what it was the occasion. And Buddha actually have to die also. But he cannot die because Buddha, not possible to kill the Buddha. Okay? So all his relatives die because there was not Buddha. But the Buddha himself was supposed to die together with them. But he was the only one which should not die because he already was a Buddha. Okay? But what he still have to suffer is from headache. So we transfer the headache from the killing. You see what happened? Because he was a Buddha. So now we are going to read the Dhammapada itself, the story in more details. But this Dhammapada commentary, okay, we are going to read the Dhammapada and the sentence from the Dhammapada, because Dhammapada is just a sentence. It's also in the Khuddaka Nikaya, in the short discourse. It says sentence, something like this. And then the Buddha say it in special occasion. So this is the Dhammapada. But in the commentary, there is all the story why the Buddha said this sentence. And in our commentary to the Dhammapada 47, it's long story. If any one of you want, you can go to the internet, you can find it, and you can read this long story about the commentary to the sentence when the Buddha said this sentence. Okay? And inside this story, you have how the Shakya destroyed and how the Buddha had a headache. Okay? But what I did, I took from all the long story, all this, the king killed the king, and this became a friend. It's like I would say, telenovela, okay? Or I think you call it telenovela, or case story. So it's very, I don't know, maybe interesting or whatever, but it's not relevant to our story all. So some of this I make a shortcut for you. I will explain a little bit what is in between. In between, I put it in different color, but I also will explain a little bit. So that's why I said that maybe it will take a little bit long, so we split this Dhamma talk to 2 times. Okay, we make now, and we see 1 hour, and then maybe we complete it in the next week. Okay, so we will start first to read the Dhammapada and the commentary, please.
The story of Vidudaba. For one who has clinging mind and only chases after collecting flowers and pleasure, death comes and carries him off, as a great flood overwhelms a sleeping village.
You see, the Buddha say, the people sometimes enjoy looking for, soon I get what I want, soon I get what I want. And they go with a happy, compare it like collecting flowers. Happy, the people they go wanting to collect things, and suddenly they die. They even don't complete what they want. So the Buddha said it's same like the village suddenly come and take by the flood, the river come and take and kill all the people in one moment to destroy the. But the Buddha using this kind of terminology or simile because it's relevant to our story. That's why the Buddha using that someone that he follow his sense doors and achievement. I want to achieve the greed, but suddenly the life is destroyed. Even he don't enjoy what he really want. Okay, some things like the flood coming and suddenly take you and you die. So now we are going to read the story about
Vidudaba takes revenge of the Sakyas. This religious instruction was given by the teacher while he was in residence at Savatthi with reverence to King Vidudaba and his retinue, who were overwhelmed by a mighty flood and swept away to death. From beginning to end, the story is as follows.
Okay, you see what happened? This Vidudaba, actually, he immediately came, he was actually resting, you will see in the end of that. He go to rest after the war. But even don't enjoy his winning in the war, And then the flood come and took him. The stormy weather come and took him and killed him. So he said, even then, he just make his mission complete, but he even cannot enjoy this. That's why the Buddha say, compare it to someone that agreed so much and then suddenly he can die. So this is why the Buddha speak in these two sentences. Okay, so you see now we are something learning about the Apadana, why Buddha have headache, and then also we learning about the Dhammapada. So we're combining two things together today. Okay, so now the Buddha is where this story is starting, or where this story the Buddha say this. He was in Savatthi. Savatthi, it's where the Anathapindika give their land to the Buddha. Okay, this is the Jetavana monastery where the Anathapindika, the millionaire, give to the Buddha. This is in the Kusala country. This is in the border between Nepal and India. That time it was two kingdoms there. One of them is Kusala. The king Pasenadi was controlling there, and later on it will be Vidudaba, his son. And the north is the other country. This is the country of the Buddha, Shakya. So they are bordering to each other. There's a border between them. In the north is Shakya, the country of the Buddha. In the south is the Kusala. Okay, I told you the king, they're changing very fast. Okay, all the time they're changing very fast because this king, this. Soon you can see a little bit story what happened between them and how it's happened to them. Okay, so the Buddha now in Kusala country, in the city and the town. Okay, where the Buddha he got the land from the millionaire. So please, we can continue.
At Savatthi lived Prince Pasenadi, son of the king of the Kosalans.
Yeah, you can continue. Yeah.
Here the story continues with the Prince Pasenadi becoming a king and how he got a slave woman as a wife from the Sakya's kingdom. She gave birth to a son named Vidudaba. At a certain time, Vidudaba went to visit Kapilavastu.
Okay, now I make the shortcut. I make this story shortcut. Okay. The story actually starting before Pasenadi became a king. He was just a prince and he's talking about how we go to land and became very friends to another kings and that's what start to be happened and they kill each other. This many story like this, which is not really relevant to our things, why the Buddha he got headache and why the Vidudapa is killing all the Shakya. But what a little bit in between, who is this Vidudapa? The king Pasenadi, the prince Pasenadi, he learned, he became very educated, he came back home, the father gave him the kingdom. You see, he's very talented. So he became a king, okay? Now, the Buddha, he was a little bit older than him. And the Buddha became enlightened. So the Buddha come and visit the city in Savatthi. The king Pasenadi is the ruler of the Kusala, we say, okay? So the Buddha with many monks, they are going for Vrindavan. The king Pasenadi, he start to like the Buddha, but he don't know anything about Vrindavan. So he looking down, he see the monk walking to the Anathapindika, to the other people, all the millionaires there, they are very worshipping the Buddha. So you see many monks walking. So he asked one guy, why the monk they are going like this? So the man told them they are going to make Vrindavan in the house of, to collect food in the house of the believer of the Buddha. So he said, I also want. So he go to the Buddha, invite the Buddha, please bring monks to me. So in the very beginning, the Buddha sent Ananda and the other monks. So the monks, they go there, the king is very busy, he forgot himself. So then the monk, they slowly they see it. They go to bring about the king. Don't give the food. He's busy. Forgot them. So they go another place, and slowly they don't come till only Ananda stay. So after some day, the king he make big food, a lot of food. Suddenly you remember I have to give food to the monk, but then no monk come. The monk is not coming. They go to another place because they get used to this. That they give Saniti, don't give the food. Only Ananda come stay. So he get anger. Why? I prepare so much food. I lost so much from this, what I prepare. He go to the Buddha, complain to the Buddha. The Buddha say, because they are not happy about you. You are, they don't believe you anymore. They come to you and you don't give them. So of course they go to another place. You cannot blame them. So the king personally see, wow, I mistake, I wrong. I want to make peace with this venerable monk, the Buddha, because he suddenly want to make connections to the Buddha. But actually, the king personality is kind of enemy, or they have conflict with the Shakya people. I told you this is border, and they don't have good connections. And also, the Shakya people, they are something like they are perceiving themselves, they are kings, and king personality is less than them because it's like cultures of caste. Okay, so they think that king personality is not equal to them, but king personality, he want to make some peace with the Buddha. So what he decided, he said, I want that someone with the Shakya people, the family of the Buddha, because he's also family from the king. So one of the women from there will come and I want to marry her. So I want to make connections between us. But what happened is that they are not, the Shakya people, they think that king personality is not equal to them. So they don't know what to do. How can they solve the problem? So they make a meeting. What we can do, so we can, otherwise the king personality come and fight with us. We say, we don't want to give you our daughter because we are king, you are less than us. Okay? So they think what we should do. And then it was one brother of, Ananda and Anuruddha. There was brothers, okay? And they have another brother called Mahanama. Mahanama stayed king. He became a king, okay? They are all relative of the Buddha. They are cousin of the Buddha. Ananda also was cousin of the Buddha. So Mahanama, he was the king there. So Mahanama told them, do you know, one time I make a daughter, I was with a slave woman, and we have together a daughter. So we give this daughter to the king personality. Okay, so I am a king, so she's also something like a princess. Okay, but it's something less because she's a daughter from a slave woman. So they give this daughter, the princess from the slave woman, to the king personality. And then the king personality, and he put her like a queen for him. And then he have a son. They have a son. So now this son is a son of the slave daughter. Okay? Something like he's not really 100% the blood of the kingdom. If you look at this like, so now just about the same Viduddhapa, how this Viduddhapa, this is the name that they give the child, okay, this son. The woman, when they go to ask the mother, she said that the people, they like this son even before he was born. It means he's very dear. And the name dear, Lopa, this is mean they like, wanting, Lopa, you know, Tosa, Lopa, Mocha. So Lopa, Vi Lopa, she said. Vi Lopa, it means he was very dear to the people even before he get birth. Even he get out from my stomach, still people already like him. So she said, Vi Lopa. So the man that was hearing, he was deaf. He didn't hear so good. So he go to the, they give the message. What they say, what she said? She said, he want to say Vilopa, but he don't say Vilopa. He say Viduba. So he mix the name. So he said, okay, so we call him like this. Wow, maybe it's the name of one of the family people before, okay? Viduba. So they call him Viduba. This is why he got this name, okay? So then he come to his mother, he grow up, but he all the time want to go to the Shakya, to his family. But the mother know that actually he's a son of slave. And when he go there, he will notice it. He will understand it, okay? So she all the time tried to stop him from going there. She told no need to go. They are too far. But then he getting older and older and older. And then he insists. He became already the manager of the army. And then he said to his mother, I must go to meet my family in the Shakya, in the other country. Like I told you, there are one country on the top of the other country. So they are staying Kusala down, and up it's the Shakya. So he want to go to visit Shakya. Okay, so now we are in this situation. Yeah, please.
After remaining there a few days at the city of Kapilavastu, Prince Vidudaba departed with his large retinue.
Okay, Kapilavastu, you know, it's the city where the Buddha grew up. This is the Shakya. So he go to visit the Shakya people, his family. Okay, and then?
Now a certain slave woman washed with milk and water the seat in the royal rest house on which Vidudaba had sat. And as she did so, she remarked insultingly, this is the seat on which sat the son of the slave woman Vasabhakatya. A certain man who had forgotten his sword went back for it, and as he took it, he heard accidentally the slave woman making the insulting remark about the prince Vidudaba.
You see, what happened now? You cannot keep the telling lie. People cannot keep the lie. Something like you said, sometimes you say people go and then he have some kind of secret to tell. He go to the straw place and he said this, and then the wind move and then the secret go all over. Everybody could hear it. I think you know this kind of simile, huh? Some kind of things like this. So this is in this case also. What happened is that he go to visit Kapilavastu. So what they've done, there is here another story, very nice, just to tell you what happened when he came. Because their king in Kapilavastu, he is now Minus, King Minus. So how the people can pay respect, they have to bow to him. But how can they bow to him? They don't, because he is less than them. But if they don't do it, he will discover that they are something problematic here. So what the Shakya people, because the Shakya people, they keep the 5 precepts. The family of the Buddha keep the 5 precepts. They have to do everything but to keep the 5 precepts. So what they should do, they have idea. They took all the young people, they sent them out from the house. They send them to some guest house or whatever. So now when he's coming, all the people remain in the palace. They are older than him. So they don't really have to bow to him because they are older than him. You see what they make a trick. But still he noticed by himself that something wrong. But he don't know how to explain it. When he left, then now he was the ruler now he was controlling the army. So like you see this story, telling that one man from the army, after they left, he forgot his weapon. So he came to pick up the weapon, and then he hear this woman when she's washing with the milk, something like to purify the seat, the place where he stay, because they believe on the caste. Something he took up he make it everything dirty. So I have to clean it. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, so she clean and then she speak it out like this. Oh, he's a slave of, he's a son of the slave. Something, and she make a joke like this. So this fighter from the army, he was hearing this. Okay, and then
inquiring into the matter, he learned that Vasabhakatya was the daughter of a slave woman of Mahanama the Sakya. And he went and informed the army. Vasabhakatya, I am told, is the daughter of a slave woman. Immediately there was a great uproar.
You see what happened? They like to chat, they like to gossip. Huh? So he come, I have secret, I must tell the secret. And then he start to tell to his friend from the army, something, I know something you don't know. Huh? And then everybody start to hear it, start to spread all over all the people from the army. So Vidudaba himself, he suddenly hear this message. Yeah.
When Vidudaba learned of the incident, he made the following vow. These Sakyas now wash the seat whereon I sat with milk and water. When I am established in my kingdom, I will wash my seat with the blood of their throats.
You see, he made a vow to say he was making a promise to himself. I will destroy them, I will kill them. And when I kill them, I take the blood and I wash my own seat. Okay, so you see what happened now? Vidutapa making the wish to destroy the Shakya people, the kingdom of the Buddha. He already planted in the mind, but he's still a prince. So he will not do it as a prince. His father taking care of the country. So then now continue the story, continue like this king tell like this and this king, so I make it shortcut. So
from here, the story continues till King Pasenadi passed away and Prince Vidudaba became king.
Okay, I make shortcut all this telenovela from the what happened with King. If you want, you can read it by yourself. It's, I don't know to say interesting or politic. But anyway, we are coming to the end that King Pasenadi, it's like sad story. All these things is very, very sad. You don't cry when you read it. And then became Vidudaba, he suddenly make a wish, I want to be king sometime, so he became a king now. Okay, so now I will continue the story about what is relevant to us. Yeah.
When the prince Vidudaba became king, he remembered his hatred, and saying to himself, I will kill all the Sakyas, he set out with a large army. On that day, as the Buddha surveyed the world at dawn, he saw the coming of the destruction of his relatives, and thinking, I must protect my family. He went on his round for alms in the morning, and returning from alms round, lay down lion-like on his right side in the comfortable room, and in the evening went through the air and sat down at the foot of a tree with little shade in the region of Kapilavastu.
Okay, one moment before we continue like this. You see what happened, the situation? Vidudaba became king. He said, I must kill the Shakya. Now, the Buddha, he understood the idea, but he have a karma duty to his family, compassion. Okay? Something like that. But the Buddha is not fighting. So what he have done, what he decided to do, he said that Vidudaba have respect to the Buddha. So if the Buddha stay in Shakya area, Vidudaba will not make the war. He will not fight in the front of the Buddha. He has so respect to the Buddha. Even the Buddha himself is Shakya. But Vidudaba, he have respect to the Buddha. I understand he's not from the kingdom anymore. He's a Buddha. So even he is a relative. Actually, he want to kill the relative of the Buddha. But he don't have any fight with the Buddha himself. He have respect to the Buddha. And the Buddha know that he will be presented in the area of the Shakya, of the nearby Kapilavastu. Vidudaba will not make the war. So what he is doing, he have compassion to the Shakya people, but he also have compassion to the Vidyutapa, because if Vidyutapa will make the war and will kill the Shakya, he making bad karma by himself. So he thinking in compassion to all sides, to everybody, not to do war. It's not the way. They're creating bad karma and bad karma. So what he's doing, how he will stop it? He go and fly, and he going and laying down on the tree, which is under in the area of the Kapalabhisthu area. But this tree, it's not so big tree. It's a small tree, okay? And it's a little bit warm. So when Buddha is going from his comfortable room, flying from the air and laying down under this not so big tree. And then what happened?
Not far from there, on the territory of Vidudaba's kingdom, stood a great banyan tree giving massive shade.
Okay, sorry, the Buddha is actually choosing this tree, even small one, but it's staying in the area of Kapalabhisthu area. Even not far from there, they are bordering. There is a border between this country and this country. But still, the Buddha is not laying down on the size of Vidyutapa and the Kusala size. He's staying the size of the Shakya. Because you know that in this case, Vidyutapa will not make the war. Okay? So?
Vidyutapa, seeing the teacher, approached him, paid obeisance to him, and said, "Reverend sir, why do you sit at the foot of this tree with little shade when it is so hot? Sit at the foot of this banyan tree in my territory, which gives a big shade, Reverend sir."
You see, try to convince the Buddha to move so he can make a wall. So, okay, so he understood because he's very clever. So he comes and said to the Buddha, "Why don't you move there? There is a very beautiful tree, very big one, very give a lot of shade and this." Okay, so what the Buddha tell him?
"Be not concerned, great king. The shade of my family keeps me cool. The teacher must have come for the purpose of protecting his family," thought Vidyutapa, and having paid obeisance to the teacher, he turned and went back to Savatthi. The teacher rose into the air and returned to Jetavana.
Jetavana, it's the same city where Vidyutapa himself living. Vidyutapa is staying in the Kusala, and Buddha also stay in Kusala, okay? But what he's doing to protect his family, he fly. So he reached before Vidyutapa to the tree, okay? And then when Vidyutapa go, now he can go back to the monastery. Buddha fly, actually maybe he reached before them to visit Savatthi, okay? So like this. And then?
The king remembered his hatred of the Sakyas and went again for the second time. But seeing the teacher in the same place, turned back.
Sorry, you see what happened? I told you that even actually, you know, Buddha himself is relative of Vidyutapa, but he's also from the family of Shakya. The Buddha actually was supposed to be the king of the Shakya. Okay, so if it's in this case, maybe the Vidyutapa have to kill the Buddha or to fight with the Buddha. But because Buddha became enlightened, he was not involved anymore with all these politic things. And also, it was not possible to kill him anyway, because he's a Buddha, not possible to kill Buddha. Okay, so the Vidyutapa actually, he don't have any anger to the Buddha, even in the family of the Shakya. But he also respects him. So you see what he is doing with Vidyutapa when he's coming and see the Buddha lay down. He tried to convince him to move, but he just pay respect to the Buddha. Even he understands that what Buddha is doing, he don't let them fight. But he don't have any thought of revenge about Buddha. Opposite, he respect them. So he come on the second time. Again, the Buddha played the same game. Block him by this, he fly and laying down. So Vidyutapa come, see him again, next day. Oh, again I cannot fight. And then?
Again the third time he went forth, but seeing the teacher in the same place, turned back. When he went in the fourth time, the teacher reviewed the former deeds of the Sakyas and realizing the impossibility of preventing the consequences of the evil deed they committed by throwing poison into the river, which killed the fish, the Buddha refrained from going the fourth time.
You see, now the Buddha letting go because he understands it's not possible to stop it. I did my best. Nobody can complain that I didn't try. Even now, someone will say, why you didn't try to stop this war? The Buddha say, I tried, but it was not possible because we are together as a people, as a fishermen. We kill this fish. Now our life have to destroy. So that's why the people of the Shakya, they will have to destroy because of the bad karma that they have done before. And then?
According to the Mahapariniparamita Sutra, this is the time that Buddha suffered from a headache, at the time that Viduddhaba killed the Sakyas.
You see, when this occasion in the Parajana Paramita, this is actually Mahayana, okay? In the Mahayana, you have the same story. They are also talking about this, so you have some more details. And then it's mentioned exactly that in this occasion, the Buddha actually suffering from the headache, okay? And then that's why we know the time exactly when is it, not from the Theravada commentary, but from the Mahayana commentary, we know it. And you see that what happened, that like I said, the Buddha didn't have a headache because he was depressed or sad, oh, my family is going to die. This is not the reason Buddha have a headache, because he have to pay karma. So the condition of headache come to his head, okay? This is not about this. The Buddha was very sad, and like normally we have depression or something, we are not happy, someone died for us, or why they kill us, or so then there is a war in Israel, oh, I have a headache. It's not mean this kind of things. It's mean that in the same times they die, he have to suffer a headache. Okay? So then
Viduddhaba therefore went forth with a large force, saying, I will kill the Sakyas. The family of the Buddha do not kill their enemies, but are willing to die rather than take the lives of others.
You see, Viduddhapa, I understand very well the behavior of the Shakya people. I told you, Shakya people, they keep the 5 precepts. They will not kill anyone. They will die and they will not kill. They are very clever, they are very skillful, they are very good warrior, but they will not kill anyone. They will keep the precept. They rather the people kill them and they don't die. And Viduddhapa know it. Yeah.
Therefore they said to themselves, we are trained and skillful. We are expert archers and masters with the long bow. Since it is against the precept to take the lives of others, we will make them run away by showing them our skill.
You see what they're deciding? I told you before, they didn't want to tell lie, so they take the young people, they send them. Now they decided, what do we do? In one side, we have to fight. Another way, we don't want to fight. We don't want to kill anyone. We will use our talent and knowing how to fight to make them scared, to make Viduddhapa and the army, to show them we have the power. Don't play with us. So what they're doing?
So they put on their armor and went forth and began battle. The arrows they shot flew through the lines of Viduddhaba's men, passing between their shields and through the holes for the ears, without hitting a man. When Viduddhaba saw the arrows fly, he said, I have understood it to be the pride of the Sakyas that they do not kill their enemies, but they are now killing my men.
Okay, sorry, one moment. You see what they've done? They say they are so talented in shooting the arrow that it's go into the ear and go out for the ear. Sometimes they maybe exaggerate. It's not possible like this. I don't believe that. But they say something like this. They want to show how they shoot the arrow, but they were so skillful that they didn't hurt any one of them. But Viduddhapa, he don't believe. So he was sure that someone died, okay? So, but you know that Shakya people, they keep the precept. So why they kill my people? This is not correct for them. They promise not to kill anyone. They make a vow, they take precept, but now they're killing. They're breaking precept. Yeah.
One of his men asked him, King, what makes you so stressed? The Sakyas are killing my men, answered the king. Not one of your men is dead. Please count them yourself. The king counted the people and realized that he did not lose anyone.
And then, understand, you say, why they kill, they're shooting, they kill us. And then the man show him, actually, nobody died. But the king, so much anger, he just want to destroy them. He thirsty for blood. He want to have the blood for them, the Shakya people, kill them and wash his seat. So he will be very happy about it. He delight on destroying them. Yeah.
Then Vidudaba said to his men, I direct you to kill all those who say, we are Sakyas, but to spare the lives of those who follow Mahanama the Sakya.
Okay, so you see what he trick? He said, now Mahanama is his grandfather. You remember? Mahanama is actually the one that bring his mother. The mother is the father of, but he himself is a Shakya. So he's something like he said, okay, you kill all of them, but only Mahanama you don't kill. Okay? Anyone which is Shakya, you kill them. So how you do it? You just ask them, do you part of Mahanama? Yes or not? Because why? The Shakya people will never tell lie. We say, yeah? So you can ask them, are you Shakya? If you say yes, you have to kill them. If you say no, I am for Mahanama, you destroy him, something like this. So
the Sakyas stood in their place, and having no other resources, some took grass in their teeth, while others held canes.
Okay, sorry, what they've done here? What happened? What did the story say? He said that they shoot all the arrow, so they don't have any weapon anymore. So now these Shakya people staying in the front of the army come to kill them. They don't have anything to fight with. And they know that the enemy coming to ask them, are you Shakya or not? So they have to think, what should I do? I don't want to tell lie. What they have done, they took grass, they put in the mouth. Some they took cans, they put in the mouth. Okay? So now they are staying in the situation that they have grass in the mouth or they have cane in the mouth, and the army coming to attack them, to ask them question. So what happened?
Now the Sakyas would rather die than utter an untruth. So when they were asked, are you Sakyas or not? Those who held blades of grass in their teeth said, not Saka, but grass. Saka in Pali, vegetable.
While those... Sorry, Saka, sak. Sak, it means vegetable or herbs. So they say, no, it's not herbs, it's a cane. No, it's not also something like they talk about what you have in the mouth. Okay, this is not a vegetable, but this is a cane, and this is not a vegetable. This is a grass. Okay, something like they refer to the question: this is a vegetable or not vegetable? This is the answer. So something like they confuse the one that's going to kill them, but they don't tell lie. Yeah.
While those who held cane said not Saka, but cane. The lives of those who follow Mahanama were saved. Those of the Sakyas who held grass in their teeth came to be known as grass Sakyas, and those who held canes as cane Sakyas.
They say what happened is that after the war, it was a situation that it was Mahanama very clear. They don't have to do anything. They just say, we are the family of the Mahanama, okay? I'm the daughter, the son of Mahanama, I'm the daughter of Mahanama, I'm this and this relative of Mahanama. The other people, at the end, because they get confused, they didn't kill them, okay? So later on, they joke about them. So, okay, we don't kill you, but we give you a title. You are grass Shakya, you are cane Shakya. Okay, because this is after a while. When they remained, they didn't kill them anymore. They were supposed to kill them in the war. But later on, when they took them as a refuge, okay, okay, and they took them. So then they give them titles, not something like they look upon them. Okay, that's what they mean. This one they say you are grass Shakya, you are Ken Shakya. Okay, so then
Vidudaba killed all the rest, and he didn't leave even a single infant alive. And when blood flowed like a river, he washed his seat with their throats' blood. Thus was the tribe the Sakyas uprooted by Vidudaba.
in the story, in the I would say history, there is the destruction where these Shakya people die, and this is the occasion. But some, if you look, some of them they say it's about after the Buddha passed away. But according to our story, still the Buddha alive when it's happening. Okay, so exactly when I could not really find, because it's different between one source to another source. But anyway, this is about the time that the Buddha was old already. Okay, even if it's in Buddha life, Buddha was old when it happened. Okay, the Shakya dynasty destroyed. Yeah, and then
Vidudaba captured Mahanama, his grandfather, the Shakya, and set out to return to Savatthi.
Okay, now you see I put point, because there is a small story about Mahanama himself when he stayed together with his grandson, actually. Vidudapa is his grandson, but he's not 100% king. The king asked him to eat with them, but he said, how can I eat? We are not in the same blood. I cannot eat with a slave man, boy. Even he's actually my own blood, but he's not pure 100%. And then he running away for him. So he ran away for him on the way. Before they wanted to go back home to Savatthi. So so that's why I make it point to make it shortcut, because it's not really relevant to us. This moment that Mahanama, he ran away from his grandson Vidudapa. He's not going back with them. He can escape. So then after he escaped, we continue.
During the night, Vidudaba reached the river Achiravati and prepared camp. Some of his soldiers lay down on the riverbank on the sand, others lay down on the banks on solid earth.
Okay, one moment. Now you see we are making, after the Vidudapa ran away, Mahanama ran away. They are still going, they are living, they finished the war, they are winners. They are wanting to go back home. On the way back home, he wait for his grandfather. His grandfather not coming, so he waste all the time. He could not complete the way all the day. Okay, because of this, because his grandfather ran, and he was thinking that grandfather soon coming, but he's never come. So that's why the time go by, and they reach to the night. They reach to the night. They coming to look for the grandfather in the lake. So the grandfather is not there. He ran away. So now they have to stay nearby the lake. So in the lake, there is the small part nearby the water. There is the upper part on the stones. So some soldiers, they sleep in the stones. Some soldiers, they sleep on the ground nearby the lake. And then what happened then?
Some of his soldiers lay down on the riverbank on the sun, others lay down on the banks on solid earth. Now those who laid in the riverbank had not been guilty of sin in previous states of existence, but those who laid on the solid banks had been guilty of sin in previous states of existence. It so happened that ants came out from the sand where they lay. So they arose, saying, there are ants where we are lying. There are ants where we are lying. They moved up to the solid earth. But those...
Continue, I will explain, yeah.
But those who had been guilty of sin descended and lay down on the riverbank sand.
Okay, one moment. We stop here. I will show you something interesting that happened. I told you they have to spend the night in the river. nearby the river. Now some soldiers sleeping nearby the river, nearby the water. Some soldiers sleeping on the up on the stones. Okay, the one that's sleeping nearby the river, they didn't make any bad karma in the past. They don't need to die. We talk about certain kind of karma that they have done. This is another story. Never mind. Something, okay. The one that sleep on the top, on the stones, they have to die because of bad karma they have done in the past. So what happened is that they are sleeping, suddenly ants coming from the ground. So they feel disturbed. They don't feel comfortable. They left the ground, the sand nearby the water, and they climb up to the stones. In the moment that they climb up to the stones, the people sleeping on the stones, they don't feel comfortable. It's too crowded. So they go down to the sand. So this change, the people change between themselves. This one go now up and this one go down. You see? The people that break precept, they have to die, they sleep now on the sand. The people that don't need to die, they go up to the stones. And then what happened?
At that moment, a storm came up and there was a great shower of rain. The flood filled the bed of the river and carried Vidudaba and his retinue out to sea, and all of them became food for fish and tortoise.
You see, because they have to pay karma, something has to happen that they have to change. And they just now finished the war. They didn't even one day, not pass. They killed all the Shakya people. Now all of them have to die. They even don't enjoy from the winning of the war. They didn't even come home to say, we are the winners. Okay? So you see why the Buddha say about why the people, they even don't enjoy the greed, what they achieve from the greed. They're already destroyed in one moment. And then we are already finishing the sutta. Huh? Yeah, please.
One day, the monk in Jetavana monastery began to discuss the incident. The killing of the Sakyas was unjust. It was not right to say the Sakyas must be killed and to beat them and kill them. The teacher heard the discussion and said, "Monks, if you regard only this present existence, it was indeed unjust that the Shakyas should die in such a way. What they received, however, was entirely just, considering the sin they committed in a previous state of existence." What was the sin they committed in a previous state of existence, Reverend Sir? In a previous state of existence, they made an evil plan together and threw poison into the river.
Okay, you see what we are doing normally? We see something bad happen to us, immediately we are just judging. No, it should not be like this. He's so good man, but they keep the precept. All the Shakya people, they keep the precept. They are relative of the Buddha. Why then people have to kill them like this? Why they have to destroy like this? So the Buddha said, don't look short, look wide, look big. This is not about the karma from this life. They are wonderful people. They keep all of them the precept, even they can die, and they will not kill anyone. They will not tell lie, but still they carry bad karma from the past. This is what the Buddha says. So this is now we continue. Another advice the Buddha give.
Again, one day in the Dhamma hall, the monks began another discussion. Vidudaba cut down all those Shakyas, and then, before the desire of his own heart had been fulfilled, he and his numerous companies were swept out to sea and became food for fish and tortoise. The teacher came in and asked, "Monks, what is it you are gathered here now talking about?" When they told him, he said, "Monks, before the desire of these living beings being fulfilled, even as a mighty flood overwhelms a sleeping village, so the Prince of Death cuts short their lives and sinks them into the four oceans of suffering." So saying, he pronounced the following stanza. For one who has a clinging mind and only chases after collecting flowers and pleasure, death comes and carries him off as a great flood overwhelms a sleeping village. At the end, at the end of the teaching, many attained the fruits of stream entry, and so on, and benefits arose for many people from the teaching.
You see, the Buddha, he took this occasion that he even actually the monk asking question about the special occasion, but the Buddha answer about life. He said, like people, they so much follow the greed. They are already the tasty. Oh, I'm going to get what I want. I want to get. Maybe they do something they crave so much, and then they cannot complete it. Flip, they die. So the Buddha take this occasion. What happened with the Viduttapa? He said, same like the flood coming and taking even village, not only the soldiers. In one moment, this is the way how the life we follow the greed, and then we fell down. In 1 minute we can die. Okay, and then at the end, what happened is that they say that some of the people that were monks that was hearing this, they were so clever. This is Panya, okay? They became Sotapan, Sakadagami, Anagami, and even Arahant. And many of them the benefit. It gives how say merit to many others for blessing. And somehow we reached 1 hour. Huh? We don't need to split it to 2 times. So please, any questions? Dharma arrange. Bitteschön. Anyone want to ask something?
Yes, I would like to ask something.
Please.
When I have a spider house in my house, and I leave the spider alive, of course, but I destroy the house because it's in the house, yeah, and I need to clean the house. So I always think like, destroying a house of of someone, yeah, of a living being, it feels bad, and still I can't leave it there. So I'm a little bit in conflict.
The Buddha say you should clean out. You cannot keep it dirty. It became more dirty. You'll never be able to clean. You all the time feel you must clean. The Buddha answer to this. In the Vinaya, there is a place the Buddha said you have to take out, not kill them, but take it out. If there is a baby, you have to better you wait a little bit. Okay? Don't kill. But there's sometimes they go, you clean, you take something nice and you put them outside. Okay? No, try not. We don't keep them. So like you never end like this. They can build outside.
Okay.
This is in the Vinaya. The Buddha answer to this. Bitteschön. Like I say, if you want to read all the story, you can look by yourself about this Dhammapada number 47 and the commentary about it. You can find it. More details about all the telenovela, what happened inside this king killed the king, and then became a friend, and then killing each other. Never ending. Same today, huh? This prime minister make with this, and then after this he became enemy of him, and then he say we like you, and then he say I don't like you, and then never ending. They play the game of the samsara. I pity them.
So, Prof, as I understood in the beginning, when he was explaining about the karma of Buddha, so there was some karma he had to finish, but the rest was deleted somehow.
Yeah.
It passed away before he could finish it.
Yeah. This is one meaning of nirvana. This is one of the meaning of nirvana, nirodha. Nirodha, it's mean stopping or ceasing the suffering which did not arise yet. It's called anupadana dukkha, I think. Karma. Anupadana dukkha or anupadana karma. And this is one meaning of nirvana. Nirvana, it's also nirodha of the or ceasing of the ignorant, okay? Or Nirodha, it's also the ceasing of the avijja, okay? Or tanha. Tanha is attachment. Huh? The attachment to be, attachment to the sense door, attachment not to be. Okay? Also, Nirodha, it's the 10 fetters. Or you can say 10 fetters, or you can say the anosaya. Okay? But also Nirodha, it's mean, or Nirvana, it's mean ceasing of the karma which have potential to come. They have potential to come. The reincarnation, because reincarnation is coming according to the karma. The karma is pushing us to reincarnate and giving us rebirth in the angels or good karma or angry ghost, bad karma, and there's never ending. We did so many good things and so many bad things that if we don't cut the angels, the engine, if we don't if we don't stop the fuel, if we don't take out the motor, so anytime the karma can navigate. But what we are doing when we reach nirvana, nirodha, we are cutting the attachment and the ignorant. So that's why we don't cut the karma. You cannot stop the karma. There's so many karma you make. But what you stop, it's the reason that you are reincarnating. The karma, it's feeding you where you are going. Good karma take you to the good destination. Bad karma take you to bad destination. But if you don't have craving to reborn, how can you reborn in the good? How can you reborn to the bad? And what you are cutting in the vipassana, it's the craving and the ignorant. So when you cut the motor, so the car cannot run anywhere. But the wheels is still there. You can go here, but nothing to push the car. Okay? So you have the ignorant, you have the craving, which is the motor. This is reason why I have to continue. Okay? But you have the will that take you where to go. Right, left, right, left. This is the karma. So the wheels is continue, exist. The karma is so much. So what you are doing, nirodha, it's the suffering which is in potential to be. Because next life you have suffering. But when you are cutting the attachment or the greed, anger, delusion, or the ignorant, then there is no rebirth again. So you will not have to pay back anymore. Okay? You understand? The idea of how it's going, the karma with the reincarnations? Because the karma, it's fixing you where you will go, and not if you will go. If you will go is depend on your ignorant and attachment. But aren't cutting the ignorant and attachment, he's cutting the if I go. So he will not go. That's why the Buddha said, Nati jati punabhavati, I don't have any more reincarnations. But if you don't cut it, you will go. This is the mistake of the people who practice before the Buddha. They think that what is motivate us to reincarnate is the karma. So they try to destroy the karma. That's why they make themselves suffering, to take out the karma. So if I don't have any more karma, then I don't have reason to reborn. But the mistake, because this is not the karma which is make us reborn. It's the attachment. Our craving is make us to reborn. Or ignorant, you can say. No understanding anicca dukkha anatta. And this is what the vipassana is doing. Giving us the wisdom of cutting the ignorant. So this is opposite. Opposite from the attachment is cutting the attachment, and wisdom is opposite from ignorant. Okay? Ignorant about Four Noble Truths.
Yeah. Then now another question is arising.
Yeah, please.
So can I prevent myself from having bad karma or experience bad karma through practicing, or is it only at the end what I did not finish because I cut off the hindrances, then it's done. But uh, is it also deleting some bad karma through practicing through the lifetime? Maybe it's hopefully it's the last lifetime, but is it also deleting something on that way of practicing of?
Yeah. Because when you are practicing Vipassana, you are also, for example, okay, suppose I just give example, okay, I have confused with my father, I don't know, or I'm angry about a friend, and should be bad karma for me to pay, okay? And then I practice meditation, and then I realize, it's not nice to do it. It's not correct. I should make only peace. I should go and talk to my father. I don't like to do it. But okay, then, my intelligence tell me now, after I practice, that I should do it anyway. This is the correct. I have to do the peace with my neighbor, even if he makes to me so many problems in the past. And this has happened during a Vipassana, okay? And you see this kind of intelligence, we call it mundane intelligence. This is wisdom or panya that you get mundane. It's not super mundane. Super mundane, it's the Makapala when you get determination. But in Atina Vayana, it's mundane. It's still just, I should not speak like this to my friend. Why every time I'm making like this to him? So you see what happened? Because you practice Vipassana, you get insight, but not super mundane insight, because cutting greed, anger, delusion is super mundane. Nirvana, it's super mundane. Even this, I don't talk. I go lower than this. For example, Atina Nibidayana, okay, Munchito, you are understanding the difference between good and bad and this. So you make peace with people, or someone told me that, so in the past, when he was a child, he took a knife, he almost killed his father like this. And he said, I learned to forget my father about this. I make peace with my father. So this is a release, a lot of bad karma. You understand? Even you are sitting and say, I wish that this and this person will die. Already you're producing bad karma. And when you are practicing, even not super mundane, I'm talking super mundane, it means you're really cutting the fetters, you're cutting the greed, anger, delusion from the mind. I don't go into this stage. I talk about the mundane insight, which is just every yana you're getting. And then already you are cutting some karma from past. That it will not be, you don't need to pay. That's why sometimes Tanat give comparison. He say, if you take money from the bank, maybe you take 20,000 shekel or dollar from the bank or euro. So you don't have to pay all the 20. Maybe you have to pay only 5,000. Okay, if you take 20, maybe you have to pay only 5. But also this 15 that you still have to pay, you will not have to pay in one time. You pay slowly. Okay? Some you don't need to pay at all. It depends. You have different strength of karma. Some of them you cannot run away. Like I said, you remember the 5 that I thought, killing father, killing mother, trying to kill killing enlightened person, splitting between the Sangha, and trying to kill the Buddha. This is really can run after you long time. This is 5, which is very, very high. But all the rest, like you said, it's, yeah, of course, you don't need to, even in this life, I mean, it's not only when you get enlightened. It's answer to a question?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, welcome. This is the power of the Vipassana, cutting the root of everything, cutting the root of everything. That's why it's the real happiness. So you remember Nirvana, it's also Niroda of the suffering which have a potential to come. They didn't come yet, but theoretically something like we can profit the future. What will be in the future? We can know already to see the future, but actually we don't see the future. We just know the cause and effect. Okay? But if we cut the attachment, so the effect will not come anymore. This karma will not get fruit anymore. Theoretically, I have to go to the hell, but because of this, I will not go to the hell, because I cut the attachment to me. You see how Buddha is optimistic. Normally they say Buddha is very pessimistic. He all the time talking about dukkha, suffering. But actually, you see how pessimistic he say it's possible to stop all this stupid. All this suffering, it's possible to stop. Everybody can do. Gut. Noch eine Frage? Fertig? Good. So thank you very much. And I wish for all of you good night and good luck. You can take out the sharing. Maybe we can see more people, more face or whatever.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you. Now it's nice to see everybody. So good night. Thank you. And bis zum nächsten Mal.
Bis zum nächsten Mal.
Satu. Bye bye.